What's up, bitches? It's another episode of World 1-1 Podcast, and I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. With me, as always, is the ever-talented Eddie Nestle Magic Head Wonderball V.
I lost my mind. That Bayonetta 3 is coming exclusively to Switch. Yes!
You know, I gotta say, it's one of those things that if it was going to go anywhere, of course it was going to be on Switch. It was just a matter of whether or not it was actually going to happen.
Yeah, me and Query was talking, and I actually told him, I'm like, Bayonetta is now pretty much a Nintendo product. Like, it fits on just a Nintendo system.
Basically. We're pretty much there. They've basically just wrapped up the rights to that.
Yeah. So, the whole collection is actually coming, so that's good to know.
Oh, I know. I'm a little perturbed at one part of that though, that it's getting the Resident Evil treatment where the collection has like the first game on the cartridge, then the second game is just a download code.
I thought it was reversed, that it's coming like two.
Or no, you're right.
Yeah.
Two is the physical hard copy and one's the download code. Like, really, how hard is it to put two cartridges in the case there? There's a whole lot of empty fucking space, for real.
Probably saving time and money and stuff. I think people it's still cool because they did split it up for people who want to buy it digitally. So where if you buy,
I want all hard copy.
Well, yeah, but if
that's
you buy,
the problem.
Well, see, this is the thing, because I was actually talking to my Nintendo rep the day after the Game Awards, where we'll talk about it a little bit later. Because Japan is getting a Climax Edition, so I wonder if both
specifically that full title is the Bayonetta Nonstop Climax Edition.
Oh, that's what the name is?
Nonstop Climax Edition, and it's got an infinity symbol on there, so it's just a never-ending orgasm.
Oh wow, I did not realize that. I thought it was just
there's a show title right there, Never-Ending Orgasm Edition.
Yes.
Oh god.
I'm thinking that might actually be my first import, so I'm gonna see how Amazon Japan works. And if I could get that game imported to me through Amazon Japan, I'm going to do it. Because if it's both games on cartridge, I might as well go with that version. And I'll still...
You might want to check Play Asia as well. They're still out there. That's still a thing.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I did some looking into them when I was looking to import Samus Returns.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, Play Asia wasn't carrying it, oddly enough. But... I mean, they do still exist. They do still do import stuff. So you may want to check them out.
I probably will.
If you're going to go that route.
I probably will. Plus, I have some friends in San Fran, or some Twitter followers, I should say. But I probably asked them, like, how do they go about their importing? Do they do Amazon Japan or have they tried Play Asia? I'll do my research. Cause if both games are coming physical in the Japanese edition, I want that, and I like the box art for it.
Oh yeah.
For it. So I would definitely buy it, because if people don't buy it in Japan, and people in America will.
Yeah.
And
I gotta say, I'm simultaneously surprised and really pleased that we are getting another Bayonetta.
Yes.
Because I don't think 2 really got a fair shake, considering it was on the Wii U. And so the fact that they looked at it and went, least we can do is, see if this thing actually has legs on a console that, has an install base versus, the Wii U that was just not there.
They did good sales on it, because I think they sold like 473 or 400 some thousand copies of it. So they did good sales for Bayonetta 2 on Wii U. It was I feel like personally, it was a time where people were upset with this exclusive, where they were mad that when something wasn't coming to their console or they didn't like it, they weren't going to support it. Because that actually happened to DMC Devil May Cry, that people weren't going to buy the game because they changed how Dante looked, and it didn't play actually it was mostly about the look of Dante. But the people who did pick it up and play it, and wasn't bothered by that controversy, they literally end up enjoying the game. And that was a year when Nintendo, like that fall, like they were just killing it with those games. And Bayonetta 2 just, like how a game comes out, one game comes out in October and just like literally wins Game of the Year. Link Between Worlds did that it came out in October or September or whatever, and it took Game of the Year. Resident Evil 4, I think, came out in Japan on GameCube exclusively, and that won Game of the Year. Like, that beat all the games that came out the next 11 months. Like, that's crazy. And it always seems to be like when Nintendo released something closer to the fall season, or anything, that it gets contender for Game of the Year. Even like right now, of course, we got contender for Breath of the Wild and Horizon. Like, those are the two games you would kind of see equal, or one is better than the other. And, people aren't mad if either one won, so it actually might be a tie. And hopefully it is, because I think both of those games should take Game of the Year. Like, I think for a lot of people, and probably myself included, that it should just be a tie, because both of those games are great. They do something separate, and people just love returning to them. I mean, there's still discussion to talk about those games.
Yeah, I think one was. I'm not a fan of it should be a tie thing. I'm not knocking one or the other, but you and I had this yelling match earlier this week. Make a fucking decision. Pick one. You get one.
Well, you did say I had to choose one.
Yeah, and then I did.
No, because I'm gonna get on you, because you said, "What is your nomination?" So I put
nominee, singular, one, not plural.
So I put one game, and then I just added more. Like, I thought you were trying to get a list of nominations.
Yeah,
so
one
you didn't say make one nomination. You said, what are your nominations? So I put all of those games.
I need a nomination.
I put those games on because of the way that it was phrased. So I was making a list. I wasn't saying that they were already going to all of them were just my nomination, my one nomination. I was making a list. So, of course, I'm going to put Breath of the Wild, but then I'm going to put Horizon. I'm going to put Hellblade. I'm going to put Samus Returns. I'm going to put Cuphead. I'm going to put all of these great games, Persona 5, all of these great games I'm going to put on the nomination list, because you just asked me, what is your nomination? So, that's what I
nomination is singular.
Well, you should have just said, Eddie, what is your one nomination? You have to put a number for me, because I take nomination as a list. Sakes. Look,
I can't believe I have to go full blown grammar Nazi just to.
You know what? Don't make me come over there, rub that belly, and feed you. I already owe you one.
That's right. You owe me Hanayori. Ha.
We're supposed to eat that while we're doing the Metroid run.
Now, Hanayori is a dine-in experience, trust me.
Did we go there? No, we didn't go there last time.
We haven't done Hanayori yet. You have not experienced the joys.
Okay. I don't even think we passed it. I don't even think you've
been close to it if we haven't passed it, although I'm sure we've passed it at some point. Yeah. It's a tiny little hole in the wall.
Is it not by the comedy club?
It's like it's like 3 minutes down the road from us.
Okay, so it's a different direction. Okay.
It's right by the gas station that had the porta pit.
Yes.
It's a couple buildings down from that.
Okay. On
So,
the okay, when I come back, we'll visit.
so
Because
but yeah,
I gotta also make sure that I have my money saved up for because we got to go Sunday to our spot. I think it's between the Pancake House or the
Evil
other
Check.
Evil Check.
Yeah.
Because I
Dude, I
think
haven't been
there's
to either in a hot minute, actually.
dude, I feel like there's some food that I'm missing from the Evil Check that I haven't tasted yet. But
Yeah, Evil Check's definitely got a bigger variety. It's less the traditional breakfast place.
yes, but man, just for them being so packed, I'm just like, goodness, it's like every time we go there, they are literally just busting tables like packed. But they're so good. The food is just yummy.
All part of the experience.
Ah, yes. Um, oh, my friend messaged me. I'll talk to
So,
dude. It took me. I actually am kind of glad that we are recording a little bit later, I should say, because I had to update my PC. I was just like, oh dang it, let me get this update done so I can get ready for the podcast. Because I don't feel like while we podcasted, then it resets itself, and I'm just like, oh dang it, we screwed.
yeah, none of that bullshit.
Yeah.
We'll start with games of the week, and then we'll get back to the Game Awards stuff, along with a couple of other announcements that have squeaked out throughout the week.
Yeah, because there was a big announcement at the time of this recording.
There's been a few. So, Eddie, let's start with what the fuck have you been playing?
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins on Xbox One, doing more side quests. I finally reached level 20. But I'm about to get, now that I'm at a point that I could go back to the story, I might go visit some side quests just to see if I could level up 2 more times, just to make sure that I knock out all the oranges. Cause like when you're not at that level, they put it as an orange. Like, you gotta be at this level to actually do it. And they show me like one main quest that I gotta be at like level 40. I'm like, I'm not even done with the almost like half of this game yet. I'm like, I don't even know why they gave me this. So working on that. I will get to Switch. I haven't did PS4, but I'm going to be loading up Neo. I'm going to be starting that, doing an hour playthrough, so I can get ready for nominations for that one. I meant to do Super Lucky's Tale, but I just didn't install it. So I gotta see if I got enough space to install it. Other than that, I'll just take a game off and then install it and play that. And then once I'm done with it, I might try to 100% it, try to get everything, because it is a platformer and I love platformers. I'm gonna try to play it, work it out, finish it, and then when I'm done, like take it off the system, and then put something else on.
I've heard some pretty mediocre things about Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah, I did too. But I'm lucky that Microsoft went with this game. For the kids, I feel like it's mostly for a kids game. They may enjoy it, but like younger adults, or a couple of adults, this might not be their cup of tea for a game. So I do want to play it and give it a fair try. For PS4, like I said, Neo, I need to, I haven't returned back to Final Fantasy 12, which I need to, but I will be getting back into that. Want to get back into Wolfenstein 2, because I was trying to work on Final Fantasy 12, but I want to do Wolfenstein 2 because I want to finish that game before the end of the year.
Yeah.
3DS, Dragon Quest 8, but I've been playing more of Yokai Watch Fleshy Soul. And I kind of enjoying that game. I like the fact how it feels like they revamped the battle system. So I'm really enjoying it. Still got to collect a few more Yokai. And Gibeon, he's like this red cat. He's just so awesome. I think that's why I kind of love him being like the mascot or recognizable character of this game. So, really enjoying it. And then going back to Nintendo Switch, of course, I've been playing mad tons of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, I want to address from last week, when you talking about playing it on the dock. So, what was your question about it, playing it off the dock?
Yeah, word was from a lot of people on the forums that the handheld mode looked like hot garbage.
Okay, so this is what happens. Okay, so when you're playing it on the TV, it's a little bit artistic, meaning that the colors are a little bit more vibrant, the characters are more sharper, and it looks like, wow, it looks like when you look at the trailers for this game, uh, it looks like that while playing it on TV. Now, taking it docked off, the gameplay doesn't suffer, meaning that, the mechanics and stuff is still running. It looks like when there is a quality drop in taking it off, because you're playing in handheld mode, so it's not pushing that full resolution for the characters. It doesn't look like hot garbage. Some people did say that it looks like a PS3 game. It's just that the colors are a little bit drained. So when you're looking at it, it doesn't look vibrant. It looks sharper for in a sense that, when you look at it, the colors are a little bit dull. And sharper as
Kind of
in,
muted.
yeah, kind of like it looks a little bit tighter for it, because it doesn't have where it don't have those, it doesn't have where where it's muddy or anything. It's just like it looks very clean. It's just tight. It's just like the colors in it looks a little bit dull. And you could tell that when you put it back on the dock, the colors become more vibrant, and then when you take it off, they're a little bit dry. But it's because it's a little bit sharper for it. But it doesn't suffer. I mean, I think it only does that when it's in gameplay mode, when you're actually playing it. In cutscene mode, not so much. You can't really tell the difference in the cutscenes. But when you're playing it, it looks like that. It's noticeable, but you're doing so much, and the world is still moving, that it doesn't become bothersome, because it is a game that, when you need to grind, when you just want to like spend time and waste some time, it's a great game to play. And the graphics and stuff and the colors and stuff shouldn't distract you from that. But when you want to move in the story and really want to get into the world, playing it at home or playing it on the dock, would give you more justice. So it depends on how you want to look at it. To me, it still looks beautiful, whether it's on the dock or not. Because I'm still enjoying that game. Still doing some grinding, finishing up some side quests. Finally got a 3-party system, and can't wait to get more blades, and can't wait to explore more of the world. It looks beautiful in motion, just seeing the tightness and stuff in the background. I'm just like, wow. And hopefully if they could bring Xenoblade Chronicles X, with a little bit of fixes, that you see that beautiful world still in motion on the system. It may look like a Wii U game if you take it off the dock, but I think if you dock it, they up the res and not so much the frame rate, because the frame rate which is great, the frame rate never changes from dock to undock. So they taking that sacrifice in some of the resolution and the colors and stuff to continue to keep a great frame rate, like a straight frame rate without no drops. I'll take that. I'll take frame rate, no frame rate drop over the resolution and stuff. So, just been playing that. hopefully that be my game of the month that I could just, dive in and really work on and play, like on my days off and stuff. Um, but other than that, that's all I literally have been playing. And Titanfall 2, I got, like I said, I got a cheap for PlayStation 4, and I just need to install it and play it.
Okay.
And I should have grabbed Hellblade, Suna's,
Senua's Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Yeah, but I didn't. So I missed the sale on it. I'll wait for it to go back on sale because, shout out to Jesse White that, I was supposed to be, record a podcast episode about that game and just never picked it up. And so I apologize to him. I told him I will pick it up. I will play it through and we'll have that discussion. Cause I kind of like the, mental health discussions for optional opinion. It's a good talk to have, and kind of got to do some more research on some topics and stuff on there. So yeah, everybody, that's what I've been playing. Larry, what you been playing?
This week I have stuck my fingers in the new Zelda DLC Champions or Ballad of the Champions.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into some of the awards stuff. And then I've also been playing a bunch of Sonic Mania because it's become like my default game where I don't know what I'm in the mood for, so it's just going to be Sonic because I want to play Chemical Plant Zone again for the 5 billionth time. And I'm actually still collecting odds and ends throughout that game, just like some of the coins and the Chaos Emeralds and all that shit. So it's something I'm still dinking around with, as it were. I'm actually currently playing some Rocket League while we chat. It's
Nice.
one of those mindless things I can play in the background. So what else was on the list this week? Piddled around with some more Axiom Verge before I handed it off to a friend to borrow. I will at some point go in and 100% it, but it will probably take some time. It doesn't, as much as I like it, it doesn't feel as concise as a Metroid game. It's like we've talked about it, it feels a little too spread out and a little too obtuse sometimes, which even Tom, in some of the commentary stuff had said that, if there is a follow-up game, he probably won't make some of the stuff nearly as fucking obscure as he did with this one. Apparently a lot of that was derived from the fact that he was working on it when Fez came out, and it was influenced heavily by some of the extremely obscure puzzle shit in Fez. So, but I actually went back and played a little more Tiny Barbarian. Not that I made any real progress, but I did play more of it. So, that game still enthralls me. It's wonderful 8-bit, and I mean, we're talking early 8-bit, not, they figured out how to milk it for all it's worth, Super Mario Brothers 3 8-bit. But it's a delightful little platformer action game. It's difficult, but it is not unfair. When you fuck up or when you die, it's because you fucked up and you fucked up. I have never once died in that game and thought, cheap lying bullshit, no way did that thing get me. I look at it and go, yeah, that was my fault. I should have done better. And then I go back and then I try and do better. It definitely compulses one to keep going or to keep at it to where you are getting better, because it's one of those games where you do not power up.
Yeah.
You just get better. So your moveset from the beginning of the game is all you're going to have. There's a couple of neat things along the way, like riding the Bumblebee, which takes a little getting used to because the controls on that are odd. Not unreasonable or just not quite what you would think they would be when you first hit it. So, but yeah, other than that, it's been a fairly tame week. I've just been wrapped up in 5 billion other things that I have not had nearly enough time to sit down and play anything or enough things. But yeah, that's been most of my games this week. So, picking up from there though, there's been a ton of fucking news this week. Obviously, a whole bunch of it coming out of the Jeff Keighley Awards. Let's be honest, that's really what it is. Our delightful little industry found its very own little Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, that mess was annoying.
Oh
I had to
God, I
mute.
laughed so hard.
I had to mute him.
Oh, I laughed so hard. I almost died. It was amazing. Oh, best. Honestly, that was probably the best part of the night for me. I was just in love. You know, and the thing is I heard a few people complain. And I'm like, I really don't think he's done any harm. He's a little obnoxious and he's probably done all the cocaine. But that aside, you know, he is genuinely passionate about what he does. And unlike Tommy Wiseau, he has a track record of actually putting out good stuff.
Well, he has a track record of putting out one good stuff. One good game.
It's more than Tommy.
Oh, I'm talking about the other dude. Tommy Wiseau, that The Room is just a whole nother level of what am I watching?
If you haven't watched it yet, by the way, watch the Honest Movie trailers for The Room. That shit's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's like that.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
That's right.
I watched that whole movie on YouTube and my mouth was agape. I was laughing so hard. I was just like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking awful.
Oh,
it's
goodness.
like a whole. It takes suck to a whole new level. I mean, it's like a black hole. It's like a giant red dwarf star of suck collapsed in on itself, and it created a black hole of suck that just sucked in everything else and made everything suck right along with it.
The dubbing is
so much suck.
The dubbing of that movie is ridiculous because he literally like ADR his whole voice for the whole thing. And then I was just realizing when he said, cause I was listening to, How Did This Get Made? Cause they, re-released that episode of The Room with Greg, not Greg Bennett. Was it Greg Bennett? Well, the guy, who wrote the book on the disaster artist and where the movie's based off of, they kind of, he kind of played that because he was a special guest on it. And they was talking about the flower scene where Tommy walks in and does the flowers and the lady does it just like, oh, I didn't realize it was you, whatever your name is.
Yeah.
And it's just
and
like
everything about it is just awful.
Oh, that movie it's just terrible in every sense.
But everything about this guy at the Game Awards was fantastic.
He was annoying, and I just like.
Oh, I loved him.
I had to mute him, and I was just. I don't know if it's gonna hurt a ways out, but we shall see how it goes. I'm still gonna get it so I can play with you, Larry. So
any press is good press. There's no such thing as bad press.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley was just like, get rid of this fool. Like, I want to end.
Keighley's problem was just he wouldn't stay on point. Like he definitely had the rambling thing going.
Yeah, he's making the segment go too long. They're trying to move this 3-hour show. I don't know how the heck they made this thing 3 hours, but yeah.
I will say too, compared to last year, the show was definitely markedly better.
Yes.
We didn't have the stupid Schick Hydrobot sponsoring everything.
Right. They did one sponsor and that was it.
Yeah. Like, and all the ads they threw in between were all pretty much all video game stuff. It's like, okay.
That Bethesda wants to EA takes a
lot of Rocket League ads.
The shade to EA and Sony throughout the show.
Oh God, yeah.
Say # say single player. But
Uh-huh.
I was just
That was
like,
kind of fucking spectacular.
I love you, Bethesda.
Bethesda just fucking threw it down. So,
Yeah.
not to mention that little crack at EA for the microtransactions
Oh,
was
yeah,
spectacular.
the dude that was opening the NFC, just like he had
The
to cut it with
envelope
his
with his
credit card.
credit card, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that this is stupid, right? And everybody just laughed and agreed. I was just like,
Hmm.
I think, and that, I think Battlefront 2 only got like maybe one nomination, I think.
Maybe two tops. I'm pretty sure it didn't win a fucking thing.
Oh no. And then
There
it
ain't
was,
no way after all that bullshit.
and everybody's just like, I don't even know why they're showing the ads for this game, but
Because somebody bought the ad time.
yeah.
Like they're gonna say no to money.
It was Jeff Keighley. It's an independent show. So, of course.
Well, money makes the whole thing work.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I will say too, they seem to manage to avoid any real major controversy this year, like unlike last year when that shit happened.
What was the controversy last year?
The fan made category.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Uh-huh. Stuff started getting removed, and then they eventually just dropped the whole category quietly, hoping nobody would notice.
Yeah. I feel like it got replaced with the school student game.
Yeah, which I will give them that's actually a solid category to put in there. I'm glad it's there.
Yeah. And I actually congratulated Level Square. I congratulated them on Twitter, and they ended up liking my tweet. I'm just like, yeah, you guys. I'm like, I haven't played your game and I don't know it, but I'm like, congrats to you guys. And then also did a shout out to DigiPen, because I'm just like, you guys are still in business and making people make games. Shout out to you guys.
I love the end of that dude's acceptance speech too. He's like, "I graduate in a week. Somebody please hire me."
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So.
I mean, honestly, he's not off base. It's like if you're gonna pitch somebody on a reason to hire you, at your award acceptance isn't a bad way to do it. So,
Exactly.
but in any case, yeah, lots of announcements out of the Game Awards. Obviously, we've talked about the Bayonetta 3 announcement, along with the Bayonetta 1 and 2 collection coming to Switch. Bayonetta 3 was we kind of got the Prime 4 treatment there. It was really just a title screen and a number. But Bayonetta 1 and 2 coming, 2 on the cartridge, 1 as a download code. Really, come on. Please put both, put an extra cartridge in the box, for God's sakes. Witchfire was another one that got announced that looked really interesting.
Yes, that looked so good.
I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it looks fucking cool.
Yes.
So
yeah, I was into that. I love the feel and how it looks a little bit crazy, but I'm just like, oh, I'm down for this. I will play this in an instant.
Oh yeah. No, it looks fucking awesome as shit. Other stuff that I won't call it an announcement, but it was there again for the third year in a row, and we still don't know what the fuck it is Death Stranding.
Kojima said if you watch the other two trailers, like if you watch all of three in a row, you could get more of an understanding of what he's leading up to.
I don't think you'll ever be able to understand what the fuck that is. It's just there.
It's a beautiful CGI movie. That's
pretty much. Part of me doesn't understand why Kojima still makes games instead of just making movies.
I think because he has a passion to make games.
No, he doesn't. He has a passion to make 45-minute cutscenes with interactive button presses in the middle for about 5 minutes.
This is the problem with Kojima, that he shows us all these CGI movies, but never show the actual game in motion. And I think he's kind of the kind of person that I really just want to show you the gameplay when the game releases, for you to play when it comes out.
Yeah, but at the rate he goes, we're going to see in every cutscene in the game.
Well, look how Metal Gear 5 turned out to be. We've seen cutscenes, and then when people actually got to play it, they feel how different it felt. Like they didn't feel like it was a Kojima's game, but so and that's kind of how I feel with Death Stranding. Just like, well, you know what? It's a sci-fi thing. It deals with a baby, and there's aliens, and it feels like if you make some sound, they're gonna come, and you got to kill them because you don't want to be possessed or taken over, whatever. It feels like there's a war also going on, and you have to protect the baby because the baby is the clue to whatever the story is. So that's my assumption. Now since they started to actually work on the game, to actually do the gameplay and level layout and all that other stuff. Um, I think it's another 2 years since we see that game. We're not going to see that till 2019, 2020. By then, I think people will lose interest in it. They're going to be like, if you show us another cutscene for a story trailer or whatever, they're going to give up on that game.
You know what I think? I think Kojima, when he got the idea for Death Stranding, he was playing Other M, because it's all about the baby,
The baby.
save the baby.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm convinced. That's it. Kojima makes Other M. Ta-da! You have Death Stranding.
I mean, he got some good talent. You know, some people he's happy to work with, but that's gonna go to waste if he doesn't show what the gameplay is. You know, people
never see it.
People could wait for what the story is when they actually play it and figure it out, but they want to see some gameplay for it.
No, I want to see some story, honestly. I want to actually know what the fuck I'm getting into.
Which is weird because people want to know what the world is going on with Shenmue.
Yeah, 3. That's another one that might have just turned into vaporware.
Oh no,
everyone's money is gone.
They're still working on it, but it wasn't at PSX. There has not been no talk about it. I think we didn't see it. I think that last trailer was in March or April or something. That little commercial. I don't even think it was at E3. So
yeah, it definitely wasn't at E3. It's like you said, it's kind of dropped into the ether.
So, I don't know why Sony is allowing this stuff, but I guess so. Well, before we continue on, just to remind everybody, some of the categories and the winners. Game of the Year went to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It also got Best Game Direction. Best Narrative went to What Remains of Edith Finch. Best Art Direction went to Cuphead. Best Score Music, Nier Automata. Best Audio Design, Hellblade, Suna's Sacrifice. Best Performance, Melina Jurgens, which is Hellblade, which is cool that she was just like, I'm not an actress. She's the lead team or something else. Like, I think like the mocap and stuff. So to use her and her acting and stuff, that was kind of cool that Ninja Theory did that. So congratulations to them. And everybody was so happy that Hellblade really won some awards. That and Cuphead, a lot of people were happy about. Games for Impact, Hellblade, Suing Us, Sacrifice. Best ongoing game was Overwatch. Best handheld game, Metroid Samus Returns. Best VR AR game, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. Best action game, Wolfenstein 2. Action adventure game, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Best role-playing game went to Persona 5. Best fighting game went to Injustice 2. That was like a given. Best family game, Super Mario Odyssey. Strategy game, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Sports racing game, Forza Motorsport 7. Most anticipated game, The Last of Us Part 2. I don't think a lot of people are anticipating that game. Best independent game was Cuphead. Best student game, Level Squared. Trending gamer, Guy Benham.
Can we get rid of that category, please?
Shoot.
Get rid of the fucking esports categories too.
Yeah. I think they just want to cover all, just all spectrum of video games. Best esport game, Overwatch, that was a given. Best esport player, Lee Sang-hyuk from Faker for League of Legends, which is weird because that contradicts best esports game being Overwatch if the best player is from League of Legends.
No, it doesn't.
Best esport
The whole
team,
thing's stupid, but it doesn't contradict itself.
Best esports team is Cloud9. Best debut indie game, Cuphead. Best Chinese game, JX3H3. HD. Best mobile game, Monument Valley 2. Best multiplayer, Player Unknown's Battleground, and industry icon, Carol Shaw. And that was all the winners.
Let me just say, the industry icon award speech with her, that shit was fucking painful. Like, it was awkwardly painful. Like, not to knock her, it's just, you could tell that the whole public speaking thing was not her thing.
Yeah.
It showed. It hurt to watch.
I just feel bad because I don't know who she was, and I didn't know the games that she made. So
yeah, she's old school Atari.
Yeah, I mean, so. I was on the Atari front, but I think that was just a game I just didn't own. Like her games, I just didn't own or play.
Right, and that's the other thing too. They really only showed like one game that she worked on, rather than what all she's done, in her time in the industry. It's like, one game? Come on. Seriously, when you guys did the industry icon thing for the King's Quest folk, the Sierra couple, you covered like fucking everything. That could have been handled better. And I'm glad they still keep the category. That one I like, and I'm glad that category's still there. But that particular instance could have been handled a lot better this year. I think that was really one of the things that was worse this year compared to last.
Yeah. But yeah, there was some great. There were some good announcements. Soul Calibur 6 is coming out to PS4 and Xbox.
That's another big one too.
I think it's still coming out for Switch. Hopefully it does, but
I don't know.
We'll see.
They seemed pretty squared away on the consoles they announced. I think if it was coming to Switch, they'd have said it, because they know that if you would tag that to a Switch, it's going to get a lot of attention.
Well, I think because of Nintendo doing Bayonetta 3, I feel like this. It's gonna be this week when Namco Bandai reveals some of their games, and some top games that's coming to Switch, or maybe in our Nintendo Direct. If Soul Calibur 6 don't come to Switch, I think a lot of people will be hurt and a little bit upset. But a lot of people will. We
haven't gotten Tekken either.
Well, yeah. Well, Tekken is another story within itself, because as much as Tekken 7 was good, a lot of people didn't pick it up.
I've got a friend, and he does listen to the show. He's a die-hard Tekken fan, like the biggest fucking Tekken person I know.
And that's cool.
And he says, talking to him, he's like, I wanted to like Tekken 7. I really wanted to. And he's like, I can't. It's like, something about it is not right.
Something about it's not clicking.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, too, is even the Wii U had fucking Tekken.
Yeah, the Tekken Tag Tournament, and that's so basic.
Tekken Tag 2. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think we're going to get Soul Cali 6. It's just not coming. I Switch.
I think we are. Hopefully we are, because this is the bad thing about it. If it don't come to Switch, everybody's gonna throw that shade about. Remember Soul Calibur 2 and Link being in the game, and how much money you guys made off of that. Like Soul Calibur 2 for GameCube outsold the PS2 and the Xbox 3 is the 360 edition. I think.
No, Soul
Oh,
Calibur 2 is original Xbox
regular
YouTuber.
Xbox. Okay, because that has Spawn in it. Okay, yeah. Um, and everybody would just be like, "You, Namco, Bandai Namco, you got too good of a relationship with Nintendo. Why would you not bring this game to this platform?"
I don't see it happening.
I mean, y'all run it on Unreal Engine 4. Runs on Unreal Engine 4, so. And that's why I say if they don't do it, I think a lot of people will be hurt. But you know, I think Nintendo
A
and
lot of
Bandai
people
are
end up getting over it, though.
well, yeah, and I think Nintendo and Bandai probably are doing together other projects together. So we shall see in the future what happens.
Yep. So, other news, we got an announcement of a new Portal game, and it's not Portal 3. So, before you all get excited, Valve still doesn't know how to count to 3. What we're getting is a weird spin-off thing. Valve is licensing out the Portal series to the Bridge Constructor games. So we're getting Bridge Constructor Portal.
Yeah,
But it is coming to Switch.
I just don't care.
So I'm not super familiar with the Bridge Constructor series.
Me
So
neither.
I'm willing to give it a fair shake before I go. It's horse shit, but I still really was hoping for Portal. But is what it is. At least somehow or another, the series isn't dead, I suppose.
Yes.
So that's a thing, Portal.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Outlast 1 and 2 is coming to Switch, and the possibility that Psychonauts 2 may be coming to Switch.
Mm-hmm. And then also we got the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection coming along.
Yes, May
12 Street Fighter games on one pack. In one pack.
May 2018.
It's a lot of fucking Street Fighter, man. Jesus Christ.
Dude, I think this one is going to really sell because I don't think a lot of people played the first Street Fighter. And I think a lot of people are fine with Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter.
You're also getting some Street Fighter 3 and some Street Fighter Alpha in there.
Yeah, Alpha.
It's just a ton of Street Fighter. Jesus.
Alpha is going to be a hit. I just want to play Third Strike against as many people as I can. I love Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I think that's one of the best games out of the Street Fighter franchise. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is like my number 2. And I haven't played the regular Street Fighter 3 or Second Impact, so I do want to give those games also a try. But Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, I play that almost every day on Dreamcast.
And then of course, that was this past week, if I recall, all the fucking Mega Man.
Yes, Mega Man 11 is coming to all the platforms. So
Mega Man is not dead. That's a good start.
It just looks like Mighty Number 9, but
I think it looks a little sharper than MN9 did.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
There's been some talk that something doesn't look right with his run animation, but overall, I definitely think it doesn't look like the hot mess that Mighty Number 9 was. It doesn't look like it feels as floaty.
Yeah.
It looks like it feels a little more grounded. And I know that's purely speculative at this point, just kind of looking at it, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Additionally, all the Mega Man is coming to Switch as well. We're getting Legacy Collection 1 and 2, as well as the Mega Man X Collection. So you'll be able to get Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, X6, X7, and X8 Oh, on your goddamn Switch.
I
Jesus Christ.
I think like I was telling Corey that I'm going to do the X games. Because I own X 1 to
Eddie,
3.
you are not an athletic person. You cannot be in the X Games.
Yes, I can. I'm black. I run fast. Mega
Put it
Man.
back in the deck, you and your fucking race card bullshit.
You know what? Look, you're the one that played it.
I didn't play it.
Yes,
I
you
just said
did.
you can't be in the X Games because you're not athletic. I didn't say anything about your race.
Look, you know who I am.
inverted.
You know who I am. You know my skin color. When it comes to most of us, the first thing that comes up is an athlete.
Yeah,
I'm a
you
black
brought it
male.
up this time.
But that's you. You said athletic. You're supposed to say
I
nerd
said you
stuff.
personally are not athletic.
Well, you already know that I can run. I'm black. I said that.
Eddie was training for the Olympics in the 500-meter dash by stealing stuff from convenience stores, so he'd be chased by the cops.
I was inspired by watching. Look, I was inspired by watching. I'm going to get you, sucker. When they had the Ghetto Olympics. Yeah. So, PUBG, is hitting Xbox One on December 12th, with 1.0 launch coming to PC on December 20th. There's a game called GTFO, and a lot of people went crazy about that, and I just really didn't care. Like we spoke
Honestly, I watched that and I thought this looks okay. It's not quite Left 4 Dead, but it kind of got a little bit of that feeling out of it.
Yeah.
That's piqued my interest.
Media Molecule Dreams. That's the title of their next game. It was at PSX, and a lot of people are digging it. They are really loving it. And then,
Yeah, it's nice to see a little more of that again.
Yeah. Accounting Plus is coming to PSVR.
God, that looked fucking stupid.
That looked horrible. That was just annoying. In the Valley of Gods is from the next developer.
Oh my
from
God,
Firewatch
I
developer.
cannot wait.
I have to get that game. That looked so good. That soundtrack to that trailer, I think, was the best music that I heard throughout the whole night. Besides the orchestra. Orchestra did a great job. But
Side note, if you haven't played Firewatch, play Firewatch.
I haven't played it yet. I
should.
need to get it. I think I'm getting it on one.
Firewatch is awesome.
I heard it was pretty good.
Like, if you really want to get hyped up for Valley of the Gods, play Firewatch. Just check out their pedigree.
Yeah. Fade to Silence is coming to PC in early access. Nice trailer. Spooky, very weird. But it is what it is. Vacation Simulator. A lot of people were happy about that stupid game. I don't know. In World War Z, I guess another zombie game. From Software did a little teaser, and they failed on so many levels because they were supposed to talk more about that game throughout the awards, and they didn't mention anything. They just didn't bring it up. So people think it's Blood Wars 2. Some people think it's a Dark Souls remake or Demon Souls remake, but I guess.
I don't know. There was some talk that we were going to be getting some Dark Souls on Switch, and we still haven't gotten an official confirmation on that. But that may be something that we see in a January Direct that keeps getting rumored but has yet to be confirmed.
Yeah. So. But, yeah, that was pretty much most of the announcements in the Game Awards. And like we mentioned earlier, all the shade thrown at EA, Sony. PSX, if you guys want to know more about that, just get some Ambien or something and just watch it. Because they did a keynote, which is pretty much a talk show. They didn't really announce much. And they really didn't show that much gameplay or really bring a lot of games to it. But I didn't find nothing interesting from that.
It does kind of make me feel like Sony's kind of the last of the big three that really puts all their eggs in the E3 basket.
Yeah. Well, this is the sad thing about all of this is that the Tokyo Game Show showcase or conference was better than what Sony did this whole year in media presentation. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is way better to watch. And yeah, and surprisingly, Microsoft didn't bring anything to the table. No Xbox One X, no exclusives, no upcoming games, and they're holding the they're holding the show at their theater. So why would they not bring anything?
I don't know. I told you, man. It just doesn't feel like they've
Well,
got the drive.
besides Sea of Thieves, that coming in on March 20th. That was the only thing that they announced. So they have to be planning something for 2018. They got to be coming out with something swinging. Like, they need announcements of games.
I fucking hope so.
Like, I think for some people, they're over the backwards compatibility. They're over the 4K.
Which they've gone real quiet on here lately too.
Oh, they said the last one with Sonic Adventures 2 and the other game coming out, they said that was the last of this year. So it's going to start back up next year. They'll talk more about it.
Yeah.
So, but that pretty much was the Game Awards. Congrats to all the winners and stuff. And a lot of people were really happy with all the games that won and got nominated. I still think that PUBG should have been in Game of the Year. As a nomination.
I'm with you on that.
I think Cuphead or Hellblade should have been in that spot because
agreed.
Both of those games are just wonderful. Then they really push the video game industry forward in a sense. Hellblade dealing with mental health and the way that game was just designed and taking sound and making that being appreciated as part of the focus of the game. And then Cuphead, old school gameplay, but that animation being fluid. And, that style, and people love the music and stuff. So
that 1930s kind of animation, yeah, definitely.
So, I think they should have been in, I think those two games added with the other four should have been in it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
in no way do I think PUBG should have fucking been there.
Yes.
At least not in that category. Fuck off somewhere else. Like, maybe that should be a new category is, best early access.
Yeah.
It feels like that might be the right way to go. But, and Keeley did say that there's been some talk as to whether or not, PUBG deserved to be in there, and apparently they had some conversations about that. So I'm curious if maybe next year they better lay out the groundwork for what has to be in place for you to qualify for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's most of the news this week.
Yeah.
So, as always, like the Facebook page, check us out on Twitter and Twitch, and you can always find us at our home on shoutengine.com. You can, subscribe to the show there in your RSS feed, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes or Google Play Music. We're also up on YouTube. I got to get the last couple episodes up on YouTube. It's been kind of a shitstorm around my my neck of the woods, and it just hasn't gotten done, but that'll happen this week. I'll have a little bit of time. Get that squared away. Other than that, I think that covers everything.
And everybody.
Oh, yeah, the YouTubes. Definitely get on the YouTubes. Check out that NGR channel and all the other good shit that we put out.
Yeah, and everybody get ready for our Game of the Year discussion. We would like your nominations, so drop us a line on Facebook and on Twitter. Yes.
So, yeah, that's it, boys and girls.
And with that, everybody, we are out. Bye.
Peace.